Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue today. I'm going to continue doing the rest of the balancing and blueprinting for the 2J. So today I'm going to be file fitting the rings, speccing out the cylinders and making sure that it is what it's supposed to be, and maybe putting the rods and pistons together and getting them ready and weighed. So I'll probably end up doing show you how to do one piston, filing the rings, putting it together, assembling, and then I'll just do the rest, because same process over and over again. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to start with the block. I've already gone ahead. I've taken the micrometer and measured the piston. It's 3.4013 inches, and like Manly requires, with a coated skirt, which these are coated skirts, they want 3.5 thou clearance, which puts us right at 3.4048. So I've gone ahead. I used the same process I used yesterday. I got the micrometer out. I set it to the 3.4048 and set my bore gauge up to it, and then just went along and see here. I'm not sure if we can see it, but I just went along. I took 3 different measurements at 2 different heights, so I'm right at 0 there. Right at 0, which is bang on what it should be. Again, Doug did this already at Competition Automotive. I'm just doing it to show you how it's done, and I just like double checking, knowing for myself. So again, I've gone through all the cylinders, kind of 3 different levels, top, middle, and bottom, and then 3 different, just to make sure that it's round. I mean, I expect nothing less than perfection from Competition Automotive. It's what they do. So the cylinders are all what they should be. So now it's time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rings. Now I've gone ahead. I put a little arrow on the pistons, just because when I have them ceramic coated on the top, you can't now see the arrow, what is forward and what's backwards. It's real easy on this one here. I mean, the intake valves are significantly larger than the exhaust valves. So the intake valve, obviously on the intake side, right? The piston's gonna go like this. Now, what I like about the rings that Manly gives you is that they make them so that you can't just put them in. They are file fit. I think all rings should be file fit. Some manufacturers, you know what I mean, send them pre-gapped, but I mean, when you're getting machining done, you should get rings that you have to file fit. Like I said, Manly makes it that the rings that they send, when I square this up, like so. So it's basically touching. So real simple for this one here. Let me grab the spec sheet that they've got here. So they suggest for medium boost, which is 15 to 30 pounds of boost, 7 thou for every inch of bore. At 3.4 bore, 3.4 inches, it comes out to 24 and a half. For high boost, which is anything more than 30 pounds, they ask for 8 thou per inch of bore. Now, I'm gonna cut that in the middle. I'm gonna do 7.5 thou per inch of bore, which is gonna give us about 25.5 thou clearance. The reason for that is, I think we're gonna be running pretty close to 30 pounds of boost to get to that 600 wheel horsepower kind of mark. I'm not 100% sure, but if we run a little bit over 30 pounds, you know what I mean, having that little bit of extra ring gap is going to be beneficial. And if we don't run over 30 pounds, it's going to be a minimal, almost non-existent loss. You know what I mean? The blow by, you're not going to have any blow by or anything like that that's going to cause any, you know what I mean, crazy increased crank pressure. So to be safe, just because I think we're going to be running close to 30 pounds, at least the research that I've done with the compression ratio of 10-to-1 is the compression that we chose with the cams that we got. The research that I'm looking at says somewhere between 25 and 30 pounds of boost. Could be a touch over that, so I'm going to give us a little extra clearance. So 3.4048 times 7.5 thou brings us to 25.5 thou and change, just a very touch over that. So I'm going to take these rings and I'm going to file them to 25 thou clearance. So when it comes to file fitting the ring's going to have, it's got a mark on it, what side is up. You can also tell what side goes up because there's going to be a bevel on the inside here. And then on the secondary ring, there's actually a real sharp edge that faces down to scrape it as it's going down. But when you're filing the ring, you always want to go down and kind of away from the edge. Now, I'm going to take a file and clean the edges up, but you just want to make sure you don't have this turned upside down and you're filing that sharp edge up. You always want to make sure the edge you're filing down and kind of in. So I'm going to file this. So I got my ring file here set up. It's just a cheap one. You can pick these up pretty cheap anywhere. There's the mark. So this is my top. So again, I want to go down and away here. You always want to make sure that when you're pushing this in as well, you're keeping these two ends square to each other. I've seen a lot of people, they're filing and they're kind of filing off one side. If you've got the electric one, you can just graze off one side, keep it square. But when you're doing it by hand, you just want to make sure that the gap is staying square to each other. We're almost there. You really want to take your time when you're doing it, guys. Make sure, like I said, that they're square. And if you have to check 10 times, go check 10 times, because you're better off to creep up on what you're looking for than to file too much away and be over and kind of leave yourself screwed. On to the second compression ring. Again, you can tell it's a different color, right? This is the black one. It's got that sharp edge that I was telling you about. That's right along the outside edge, and it's got that mark telling you what the top is. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one here. So I've got the ring in there. I can't see if you can see it. I've got it filed down. See if it'll focus there for you guys. Yeah, we're exactly where we need to be. And that's a 0.00255 feeler gauge that I'm using. So it's exactly what we're looking for. Now that I've got the two rings fit, they're both at 0.005255, which is about 25.5 thou, which is what we're looking for. I'm going to assemble one of the pistons. And I can't install it, like I said, until we get the studs I believe they're coming in Monday or Tuesday, so we can actually assemble the short block. But yeah, now I'll assemble one of the pistons for you, and then I'm going to do that process for all of them. Get them all balanced and weighed. So again, now that we've got them gapped, the proper gap, I'm just going to take a small file, and I'm just going to work my way out, away from the edge, just to clean those edges up. It doesn't take a lot. I just want to take, if there is a sharp edge on there, I just want to take it off. There we go, just to clean it up. So, when it comes to assembling them, so I've gone at the oil ring. I did check the oil rings. The oil rings aren't as important to be exactly precise. They do still have, the proper clearance in there. But the middle ring here actually has a groove on the inside, and it's very hard to see that these rings have to sit on top of. It's got to sit inside the ring. What I do, and this is just me, so oil ring can go on. Again, they're very thin rings, so you can pull them out. I wouldn't suggest doing this to the compression rings. The compression rings, I'll use the tool and show you how I do it. So that's going to sit in there. Then I'm going to put my oil ring in. Before I put this ring on, before I put this in, which goes on the top, I just want to pull the bottom ring out and make sure that it's sitting inside the clip the way that it should be. So, the oil ring is on, and like I said, at the back there's a groove that sits up and down that these rings here sit on top of. So you just want to make sure that it's in there the way it is, moves around nicely, and I'll adjust the ring gaps where they're supposed to go as I do it. Now when it comes to putting on the compression rings, so lots of different style of piston ring pliers. Those are probably the most popular. I like these ones here. I like them just for the fact that these ones here, I can't feel the ring at the back. I feel like I've just got more control with these ones here when I open them. There is a lot of people, especially old school, you see the guys, they'll put it one side in and they'll just kind of run their finger around and drop in the ring as it goes. That kind of bends the ring a little bit. It torques on it. It's not a good practice to get into. Not saying that it's not right. I know a lot of old school guys that do it. I mean, I was taught that way when I was younger, but you definitely want to get a pair of proper pliers and whatnot. Nice and easy, just open them up. And drop it down. So, second ring's in there. Again, before I put the next ring on, I just want to make sure that that ring moves freely in there. That ring moves freely in there, and that when I crush that down, I push it together, that there's no burrs on the edge that are catching. I want to make sure that it closes nice and clean, runs smooth, and then when I coat it, when we put it in, I know that it's going to move and slide without catching or making any marks. And then the same thing with the top ring. So that's the top. That's it. Easy as that. Same thing. You can hear it dropping. It's moving around in there nicely. When I close it up, there's no burrs catching on the end. Everything is the way it should be. So nice. It's everything the way it should be. So now what I'm going to do, I'm sure you can see I've got everything laid out. It's not just laid out in this order for no reason. I've actually gone ahead and weighed everything, and the connecting rods come weighed when you add the bearing to them, they change very, very slightly, you know, portions of a gram. Same thing with the pistons, especially now that they're coated on top. They're not all exactly the same weight. So I've gone, I was going to videotape it for you, but I thought it was kind of boring. But I've gone and I've matched all of it. So I know that this piston with these rings and this pin and this one here, and then this one with this one, this one with this one, this one with this one, and so on, that it's balanced properly. So when it comes to blueprint and balancing the engine, obviously what you're just trying to do, like I like revving stuff out as high as we can get it. So I assume that this is probably going to rev at 9,000 plus RPM. I want to make sure that everything's balanced there. Like I said, Competition Automotive already balanced the crank. So it's 100%. Now we've balanced all of the rods and pistons. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you kind of how we put one together. So I'm going to take one of the clip rings. Put it down inside there, like so. Just take a pair of needle pliers. I'm just going to push that down in there like so. Now, for me, when it comes to building an engine, it's not a race. You definitely want to take your time, make sure that that everything is being done right. That clip, so that ring clip just goes on the inside there, and it's going to make sure that the wrist pin can't slide out the other side. So, again, I'm going to take, I use Royal Purple assembly lube. I mean, there's all kinds of them there, but I'm going to be pretty generous. Now again, just because it's a lot of the same process, I've gone over with the micrometer, made sure that the pins and the pistons match along with the connecting rods. So you just want to make sure everything's tight, as tight as it can be. So that's it. I'm going to take that like that and throw a little bit more lube in there. Just the assembly lube. That's it. It's in. Wipe off that access there so it's not like so. I'm going to take a pin and I'm just going to throw it on this side. A clip, I should say. Again, you really want to make sure you're taking your time and you're not scratching up the side of the piston, or if it feels like it's not going in properly, there's probably a reason why. You can take it apart and check it again. So that's it. It's in. It's clean. That's it, guys. That'll be cylinder number one, and I'm gonna go through. I'll put the rest of them together. I'm gonna file fit all the rings. You've seen how one is done. The rest are gonna be the same, but that's it. Pretty heavy duty. I think she'll definitely take the power that we're gonna throw at it. Okay, so we're back. I finished up all of the assembly, file fitting all the rings and assembling them. So I've got them all laid out. I've got them, they're all numbered. You can see there's a number, that's cylinder 3. They've all been balanced. They're all within a half a gram of each other, except for this one here. So cylinder 6 and cylinder 1, this is 1.8 grams heavier than the rest. This one's 1.7 grams heavier than the rest, which is very close when it comes to a rotating assembly. That's not going to make a massive difference, but I did put them on the two ends, right? So cylinder 6 and cylinder 1, the rest of them are all very, very close to each other. But that's it for today, guys. Like I said, if there's something that you want to see, I'm not sure what you guys want to see, what's boring. I know I didn't videotape the weighing of them and stuff like that. I just don't know how much you guys want to see, so leave a comment if you want to see more. If there's something that you want to see, let me know, because I have no problem making the videos. And again, if you're new to the channel, this is the 2J that we're building to go in the Veilside Supra that we're building and giving away. So if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Everything we do to the car, you guys vote on. So it's definitely a vehicle for you guys and what you guys want. And when it's done, we will be giving it away. So subscribe, and we'll see you next time.